If you wanted to create some kind of slideshow with audio, this is actually a pretty good idea because it doesn't take up maybe as much bandwidth as a full-blown video, but you will still be exporting it as a video. There are lots of ways to accomplish this task. So in my role, what I try to do is use PowerPoint as frequently as I use Keynote, as frequently as I use Google Slides. If I had my druthers, I'd be in Keynote all the time because I personally like it. But what's nice about using Google Slides is then if I ever decide to use this in another format, it's already made. And I tend to find the templates a little bit dull. So I have this website that someone shared with me. It's called Slides Carnival. And it lets you go in. If you've ever taken my classes, this is something that I highlight right away. You go in and you can find, there are hundreds of different templates. And let's say this is one I liked. I could preview it. It can be a PowerPoint, but I'm going to urge you to stay away from PowerPoint for this purpose because we're in the Google land. So we're going to use this as a Google theme, use the template, and what that's going to do is open up a blank presentation for me to build on. I like this because it picks the fonts for me and the sizes and the backgrounds, and I don't have to really worry about does this look right. For the most part, it does that for me. And this is a template, so you click, erase the text, and type. You could delete all of these out and just come up here and pick your style from here. One other bonus, I think, they always have these really cool frames, but they also have these icons. And what's nice too is I can enlarge these and they don't pixelate. So that you can change the fill color, you can change these up. It's really, really cool. Okay, so if I'm going to build a presentation, like maybe I had, well, there was an ocean one, so maybe I was doing an ocean theme. This one was something I made for parents. If I wanted to take this slideshow and turn it into something where I could record audio, I think the easiest way to do that is to build here. You could build in any tool you wanted, but then to ultimately get pictures of these. One thing I have noticed is you can come here and do File and download these as images, but no matter what I do, it lets me pick one at a time, and I don't have the patience for that. So I can get Sketch and download that, or I can do Shift-Command-4 and take some screenshots. So what I'm going to do is take my time and build my presentation the way I want it. Shift-Command-4 turns my cursor into a little plus, like a little camera. I drag over top of it and I take a picture. So I'm going to do about 3 of these and then go into iMovie with it. So once I get my visuals built, and it doesn't matter what tool I use this because then I can embed this right on my website for parents. I can assign this in a Google Classroom or share it that way. By starting here, it gave me the ability to share easier. You can create in Keynote and PowerPoint and import them too, but that's for another day. So then what I need is I have my images here. I want iMovie. If I don't have it pre-downloaded, I can go into self-service and download it. Just know that that's a large program and it takes a little bit of time. And when I run iMovie, I try to make sure my other things are closed up. So in my dock, anything with the dot, the black dot means it's open. So anything that's going to take up space, I'm going to press and hold and just tell it to quit before I get started, just so that I make sure I don't have too much running at once. Okay, so when you open it up, I'm going to create a new movie. I'm going to bring in my slides and drag them right into my timeline. You might recognize once you get going that the 4-second default isn't long enough. And you might notice too, see how it's doing this Ken Burns effect? I can keep that or I can change that by clicking here, and I just want it to fit. There is a way before you bring any pictures in that you can go to Preferences, and the photo placement will always be fit. And the photo duration will always be, like, let's say 8 seconds, because I know I'm going to be chit-chatting a lot here. So that was under File and Preferences. If I change that after the fact, it doesn't impact my presentation. So I made that change, and notice it's bringing this in at 8 seconds, and it's not doing the Ken Burns zoom effect. We could spend like 15 hours on iMovie and what it can do. I'm going to keep it super simple. So I have pulled in my slides. The reason I like this tool is I can press the voiceover. I can record. Oops. It's not going to let me. Okay, so here's where I would troubleshoot.